Jodie, do you find it unusual to have 200 or 300 people applauding you from a distance of about 3,000 miles?
Yeah, especially since I sort of hear them out of sync. So I see your mouth move, and then you talk a little while later. It's good. It's funny. It's a very charming perspective.
Well, you're perfectly synchronized from where we're sitting. Now,
oh, that's good.
You don't go for, or it doesn't seem to me anyway, that you go for glamour girl roles. Is that a deliberate process that you go for controversial roles?
Well, I don't really think that I kind of go for anything. I mean, that's. Gee, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm less concerned with my image than I am making good stories and good films. And that the one thing that's always been a strain through my films is that I've always chosen the story above anything else, and sometimes above the character. Sometimes I play characters that aren't as flashy, for example, but that tell the story in a way that's probably a controversial and a more dramatic story, which I always find interesting.
Tell me about this particular role as an FBI agent. Did you pick that for the writing, or did you pick it for the nature of the role?
Well, actually, I was a big fan of the book, and I had been following the book for a long time and sort of found out which writer was doing it, and so I had been in contact with it for a long time before the film was set up. So I knew about it. Really, it was really the story, I think, that I was most caught up with. Well,
it's made a great number of waves in America, this particular movie. It's good to see Anthony Hopkins do so well in the role.
Yes.
It's very terrifying for me. He plays Hannibal the Cannibal, who, in fact, eats people. I mean...
not on screen.
No, not on screen. But he does like a little liver and stuff like that. I mean,
yes.
Do you think, probably not from your own personal experience, but from your researches into this, which I know are considerable, yes. Do you think that there are people like him around?
There's no question of it. I mean, the character was composed of a number of different profiles of different historical killers, that have been out there. There is a pattern and there are motives, and one of the things I think that is probably one of the most contributing factors, and definitely is the one thing that they all have in common, is that they've endured some kind of abuse as children. So that's the one thing that every serial killer, almost every serial killer, has in common.
We'll ask you about your childhood a little bit later on.
Okay.
But what do you think the public fascination, particularly American public
yes.
fascination, is with serial killers?
Well, irrational motives, and I think that kind of darkness of picking out somebody randomly, and not for any reason except for the glorification of violence, and for enjoying the fact of violence, and having violence be your way of coping with life, or your way of expressing yourself, ultimately. And that's something that I think people find a very horrifying principle, as they should.
Yeah, but when you make a film like this, I'm not suggesting that you made the film, but I mean, when a film like this is made,
yes.
There's a lot of loonies out there, and aren't they likely to look at it and say, oh, that's a good idea, I'll go and kill a few hundred people and have a movie made of my life and die happy?
Well, the truth about dramas is that, like anything else, I mean, you can take a 2x4 and you can build a building, or you can hit somebody over the head with it. And there are two things that you can do with pieces of information. You can use them to construct things, and you can use them to change things, which I think our film is very responsible and deals with the subject in a very frank and very responsible way. Or you can, obviously use any piece of information to stimulate anything that you want. I mean, you could say that about the news. And information is always good, and I certainly don't ever believe in censoring information.
Your mother guided your career from your very early days. Does she still do that?
Yes.
Does she still dictate to you, or do you dictate to her more?
Dictate, no, probably neither one of those. But yeah, she was very involved in my career at a young age, which is understandable since I was 3 years old when I started. So I had to have somebody taking care of me and ultimately looking after me to make sure that the sharks didn't devour me, which I think was much more her function, and rightfully so. And
then The Accused came along, and you won that 3 years ago. You actually
yes.
won the Oscar for that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I thought you might have forgotten. But I mean...
No, it always makes me laugh. Every time I think of that, it just makes me laugh.
Was it a big night? You were drunk?
No, I wasn't drunk. I had fun. I was a blast. I can't, it was like being on a ride at Disneyland or something. It was just, I kept getting, moved somewhere else, and then this would happen, and then that would happen. It was a little bit unreal. I couldn't stop laughing. It was like winning the lottery or something.